I've always been a huge fan of Thai flavors. I love the tangy, the fresh, the sweet, the salty, and the spicy. It all goes together so nicely, and you're gonna love it in this soup. And in order to make my version a little bit more substantial, I'm gonna add some rice noodles. Now I believe that chicken breast is more commonly used, but I'm using chicken thighs today. I just love the way that they stay moist and tender. So we're gonna start by just cubing up our chicken thighs. Thai food is very aromatic, and so we have a bunch of ingredients that fall under that aromatic category that we're gonna be adding. The first one is lemongrass. Now lemongrass, you can find it just about any grocery store nowadays. It's pretty common. It's not overly perishable, so you can bring it home, use what you need. I quite often put the rest into the freezer. It freezes well and ready to use when you need it. Anything aromatic has essential oils that help flavor the food. This is no different. How we release those essential oils is we can bang it with the back of the knife, and you can almost see little spritz of aromatic oils and juices that are flying around. So, and the smell becomes just amazing. And then we're just gonna cut these into chunks. This is, because it's an aromatic, it's actually gonna go into the broth and it's gonna infuse that flavor into the broth, so we don't need to break it down any further than that. You don't actually eat the lemongrass, it just flavors the food that you have. 2 or 3 large cloves of garlic. All right, so just a quick slice on these. The next aromatic is gonna be shallot. Okay, so we keep building our flavor. The next thing is red Thai chilies or bird's eye chilies. These are fairly darn hot. Use these according to your tolerance for heat. You're just gonna rough chop them because they're just going in to flavor the broth. These are another aromatic and very common in Thai food. These are kaffir lime leaves. They are a thing of beauty. They have this beautiful aroma, obviously of lime. The cool thing is they add that lime flavor, but not the acidity part of it. It's just pure aromatic. Those are gonna go in a little bit like a bay leaf might go into a soup in Western cultures, and it's gonna infuse the broth with that beautiful aromatic lime kind of flavor. And then we have some actual lime, which is going to add a little bit more of that aromatics because we are going to use a little bit of the lime zest. But equally important is we're going to squeeze the juice of our lime. Now that's a major flavor component to Thai cooking, is fresh lime juice. Traditionally, it would be an oyster mushroom, but we're using these today. And I have some enoki mushrooms that we're gonna garnish with today. So go ahead and slice these up. Another very common aromatic in Thai food is ginger. I wasn't able to get galangal. We're gonna use ginger. Galangal root is a type of ginger, but with a slightly more citrusy note. If you can't find galangal, ginger will work fine. Now I've washed this, so I'm just gonna leave the skin on and I'm gonna slice it into slices. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of greenery to my soup. These baby bok choys add a wonderful crunch to our soup. And then we're gonna add some cilantro. Cilantro is obviously a aromatic, but also a bit of a garnish. And we're gonna need some coconut milk. Of course, that's the creamy component to our soup. And then we're gonna measure out a little bit of fish sauce. Now, fish sauce is a very salty and aromatic and umami ingredient. This we're gonna use instead of salt to season our soup. It is very common in Thai food and is not an ingredient that you can substitute if you want to get those authentic Thai flavors. And the last thing we're going to need is some chicken stock. And one last ingredient is brown sugar. Traditionally, they would use palm sugar, but brown sugar is a great substitute. This, of course, balances all of the flavors that we have going on with the salty and the tangy and all the aromatics and the sweet and the spicy. So brown sugar is a great ingredient to help balance all that. Okay, so we're gonna start off by adding our chicken broth. Starting with our lemongrass, our ginger or galangal, our shallots, our kaffir lime leaf and our lime zest, our Thai bird's eye chilies, our sliced garlic, Now we're going to allow the broth to simmer with these aromatics and get all that flavor into it for about 5 minutes of gentle simmering. So our broth has had a chance to simmer. It's smelling beautiful because of all of the aromatics. So we're going to continue to add some ingredients. We're going to add some of our brown sugar. We're going to add some of our fish sauce. Okay, all of it. And we're going to add our chicken. And we will bring this back to a simmer. Our chicken is just about cooked, and that's the advantage of using the chicken thigh. I like that we get to simmer the chicken thighs a little bit more with the aromatics before we continue on. So now we're going to add our fresh lime juice. And then we're going to add our sliced mushrooms. We finished the soup by adding coconut milk and bringing back to a simmer. I avoid boiling for any length of time at this point to keep the coconut milk intact. Now taste and adjust seasoning to your preference. And now we can serve this up. Man, does it smell good. All right, and we will just ladle our beautiful aromatic broth with all of the garnishes and aromatics included over top of our noodles. You can warn your guests that the ginger and the lemongrass and the kaffir lime leaf are not necessarily to be eaten. They're just there as flavor enhancers. And a couple of our enoki mushrooms as a garnish. A little bit of bok choy, and of course some cilantro, and then a little bit of chili oil. And there you have it, my version of Tom Kha Gai, a creamy Thai coconut and chicken soup. Enjoy.